Teruvan Sarnai everyone. Today we will be discussing Season 8. Since you guys wanted this done, especially Lucas wanted me to do Season 8, I'm starting from scratch. I might repeat myself. It's good that you have listened to it, and if you're listening again, it's not going to be a waste, I can promise you that, because these Dhamma concepts are really good. You listen to it over and over again, and then what you grasp becomes vast. It's not going to stay the same. So if you listen to Anicca today, and if you listen to, maybe you listened to Anicca last month, and if you listen to Anicca today, what you grasp today is much more than what you grasped before. I have listened to the same sermons by Vaharaka Thero. After 6 months, when I listened to it, I can't even remember if I heard something like that. So that's how it is. And then I'm amazed in the new things that I learn from that sermon. So there are things that you can learn, and what happens is it will engrave into you. So you will remember strongly. I hope it will help. Unfortunately, yes, it will be the same first clip, but I will try and do the whole clip today, and it will be a summary. So it's not going to be, the one I did was in detail, word by word, pretty much sentence by sentence. So I listened to the sentence and I translated every sentence before. So this is not going to be like that. This is going to be a summary. I will take similar examples. I will take all the concepts, the main concepts that were discussed, and hopefully we can do this in less than 2 hours, hopefully, because this has gone for 2 hours. The sermon that Abhethero did was for 2 hours, so I have summarized. Hopefully it will take less. Can we do you think we can start now? We have about 9 or something already, right? So for a start, I have to let you know that this is the gist of Buddhism. These are the main concepts, most important things that will be discussed. So this doesn't mean that this is everything, but this is everything in terms of the most important things. So once you grasp these concepts, you will be able to understand the Dhamma. You will be able to see the world, and you will be able to see the reality in the right mind. So that is the most important thing. So and also I will be giving you examples from Thripitaka. I will be using slides when I do the YouTube clip. I will take examples from Thripitaka, and I will show that, so that it's proof for you guys. If you have any questions, you can always come back, and then we can discuss them later, right? So first thing, Dharma and Adharma. What is Dharma and Adharma? That is the first question one needs to understand. So Dharma, as normal people, they think Dharma is a religion, Adharma is a non-religion. That is not the idea. Dharma is the reality. Dharma is the what happens, and Adharma is what does not happen, or as in not real. If something is not real, that is not Dharma. So this is what we are trying to learn here, is the universal truth. So this is the reality. So that is why we call this Dharma, right? Buddha Dharma, because Buddha as in Bhave Udura Demima, as in to get rid of the Bhava, as in the Sansara, the cycle, the path, the Sansara path, or the journey of life. So we are trying to get rid of the journey of life, and hence why this is called Bauddha Dharma, right? In this, we have to see the world. So we are trying to identify the reality of the world. So when we say the world, we have to understand what the world is, what the world consists of. So when we say the world has been described in various ways, using various definitions. One way is looking at the inner world and the outer world. There are two worlds, inner world and outer world. Inner world is the six senses: eye, ear, nose, tongue, body and mind. And the outer world are what we take from the six senses, which is vision, sounds, smell, taste, touch and thoughts. So those are the two worlds that we have. So we call me as the inner world is me, and then we called mind as the outer world. We try to make mind, and that is where the problem comes, right? So what we have to understand here is what everyone is trying to do in the world. What are we doing? What are we looking for? Are we looking for something? Why are we here? What are we trying to achieve? What is the vision? So that is the question everyone has. Everyone needs to understand. We need to know why we are here. What are we trying to achieve? So if we look into every individual, you will come to one answer. The answer will be either happiness, or we are looking for pleasure, gratification, or asada. Everyone is trying to be happy. We are trying to have a happy life, or be happy, or achieve something, right? And once we achieve, ultimately we are trying to be happy. So one can say, I am trying to make my son happy. But end of the day, by making your son happy, that person is trying to be happy himself or herself. So I am looking after my mother, that gives me pleasure. So end of the day, that is what gives that person pleasure. So they are trying to achieve the pleasure. So that is what we are trying to fulfill. We are trying to get asada. These are the words that you need to learn: gratification or asada, or happiness or pleasure. So how are we trying to achieve this is what we need to look at next. How we are trying to achieve this happiness is by using these six senses. We use the six senses to achieve happiness from outside world. We have the inner world. From the inner world, we are trying to achieve happiness from the outside world. That is what we are trying to do, right? I will leave it at that and get back to this once we cover this, right? Now we have to look at Lord Buddha. Before becoming a Lord Buddha, he was Prince Siddhartha, right? So what was he was supposed to become a supreme king if he didn't become the Lord Buddha. I'm sure you have all heard about this. He was supposed to become the king of the kings. He was supposed to become the supreme king. But after achieving becoming Buddha, he said, I won. He gave up the supreme king and became Lord Buddha, and he said he won. So he must have got something better than becoming a supreme king. So that this is something that we need to understand. So we in our lives trying to achieve this, that maybe we want to buy a house, we want to buy so many cars, maybe we want to have this much wealth, say. But becoming a supreme king is what Lord Buddha gave up, and he said he won after becoming a Lord Buddha. So there must be something better than becoming a supreme king. So we have to rethink about this, about what we are trying to achieve, and if there is anything wrong in our path and what we are trying to do. So that is something that we need to keep in our mind when we are listening to this Dhamma. And also another thing, after Lord Buddha becoming Lord Buddha, there were many kings, many ministers, many rich people left everything and became monks and followed this route, and they all became happy. They became Arihatun Wahansela. They never went back to the wealth. They gave up the wealth after understanding the Dhamma. That is the most important thing. They didn't just try this without understanding Dhamma. They wouldn't just give up everything without understanding Dhamma. So they gave up after understanding. They weren't forced to go become a monk. No one was. They understood the Dhamma and automatically they gave up everything. They thought, no, there's nothing in here. So something happened. So this is something that you need to understand. So now again, coming back to what are we looking for? And we need to also see, are we receiving this, or are we getting what we are looking for? So we are looking for asada. So we are looking for asada by doing certain things. So what we need to see is, are we getting this, or have we fulfilled this desire of filling the eye with the visions, filling the ears with the sounds, nose with the smells, tongue with the taste, body with the touch, and mind with the thoughts. We have been doing this all the throughout the journey of samsara, but we are still trying to fulfill. If we take examples, Bill Gates or Steve Jobs or the richest people in the world, have they fulfilled it? Or do you think they still are trying to fulfill? You need to think. If you think about your father, your mother, your grandfather, grandmother, have they fulfilled it? How many years did they live? How many years did they try to fulfill? But did they fulfill? So this is something we need to think. I'm trying to make you think, start thinking, and then I'm trying to introduce the concepts so you will get the idea. In the process, there is something else that I need to mention, which is there is some kind of unlearning that has to be done. This is especially for people who know Buddhism a lot. If you don't know about Buddhism, it's very good. For example, the example mentioned in the Thero's discussion was two pupils went to study dancing to a dancing teacher or music teacher to learn music, and the music teacher asked, have you learned music before? And the student said, yes, I have. Okay, I'm gonna charge you 1,500, whatever currency it is. And then the student comes, and then the teacher asks, have you learned music before? He says, no. Okay, I'm only going to charge you 1,000. So from the person who has learned before, the teacher is charging more, 1,500. From the person who hasn't learned anything, is only charging 1,000, because the reason behind is, from the person who has learned, if the person has learned something wrong, then there is a lot of unlearning to be done to make him learn the right thing. So that is why he is charging more. So the same way, if you have learned something wrong before, then you have to put more effort, and you have to listen carefully and try to understand the right Dhamma. Otherwise you will be lost, because you might have understood something else which is not right. You have to be very prudent, and you have to be very intelligent and carefully listen to it, and don't accept everything I say. You have to put it into your mind, process it, and if you have any questions, ask the questions and make sure you understand properly, you grasp the concepts properly, and only go ahead if you do understand. Otherwise, disturb me and ask questions. So the next thing we need to find out is what happens if everything happens the way we want it to happen. For example, So what I'm trying to tell you is, this is how we get the happiness, right? How we get happiness is by, when something happens the way we like, we become happy. So we have a like in our mind, we have a desire, we have a want. Okay, this is how this has to happen. Then it happens the way we want or we like, then we are happy. For example, you have a child. I want my child to pass the exam. The child passes the exam and you are happy. I want to receive 100,000 as my salary. So you receive that, or as bonus, and you receive that, then you're happy, right? So if everything happens the way you like, then you become happy and the happiness will be there. So that is also something that you need to know. So that is what we are looking for. We are always, we have a desire, we create a desire in our mind. We want certain things to be like this. When you go to the house has to be like this. The setup has to be like this. The kitchen has to be like this. The room has to be like this. My clothes have to be like this. My wife has to be like this. My kids have to be like this. My mother has to be like this. Everything you create in your mind, this have to be like this. So if that doesn't happen the way you like, then you get angry, then you get frustrated, right? If everything happens the way you like, then you don't have any problem. Then you're a happy man, happy woman, right? So this is where the problem comes. Does everything happen the way we like? This was mentioned by Tathagata Wahanse. Things don't happen the way we like, and that is the problem we have in this world. We want certain things to happen the way we like, but they don't happen the way we like. And that brings us sufferings, that brings us worry. So when Tathagata Wahanse mentioned that, Satchaka brought an argument saying, no, things happen the way we like. If I want to buy 5 cars, I can buy 5 cars. If I want 10 houses, I can get 10 houses. So that is that doesn't work like that. I can get anything done. So what Tathagata Wahanse is saying is not true. So he wanted to argue with Tathagata Wahanse in front of all the kings and everyone. So he had a public argument with Tathagata Wahanse, like he wanted to prove that Tathagata Wahanse was wrong. So then Tathagata Wahanse, when he arrived at the discussion or the argument, whatever, it was an argument as in not a angry kind of argument. It was just it was like a debate, right? And then Tathagata Wahanse asked Satchaka. Tathagata Wahanse asked only 2 questions, as I can remember, right? If I can remember right. So he asked, okay, if, for example, the king wants to kill you, can he kill you? So that is what Tathagata Wahanse asked Satchaka. Then Satchaka thought, he's intelligent too, right? So he's not stupid. So he was thinking, oh, if I say the king can't kill me, then the king might kill me. King can kill him. But if I say the king can kill him, then he's gonna lose the argument. So he didn't answer. He knew that whatever he says is gonna backfire on him. So he kept quiet. And then Tathagata Wahanse asked, okay, I will ask another question. If the king wants to confiscate everything you have now and deport you, can he do that? And then it's the same thing. He can't say yes, he can't say no. So then he agreed. So he kept quiet, and then everyone understood that even though he thinks he can do whatever he wants, he can't do whatever he wants. It doesn't happen. Everything doesn't happen the way he wants or anyone wants. So that is something that was debated about previously, right? So what was proven here is that it doesn't work like that. So the world doesn't happen to the way you want it to happen. So I am trying to get another example, and we are trying to go deeper into this and find out ourselves. Just because someone said you shouldn't believe this, now we are trying to break the world into different sectors and try to understand. So we discussed about the inner world and the outer world. So inner world, we called inner world eye, ear, nose, tongue, body and mind, and the outer world is the vision, sound, smell, taste, touch and thoughts. So forget about the outer world. Let's concentrate on what we call as me, or the eye, ear, nose, tongue, body and mind. So if we look at the eyes, ears, nose, tongue and body, it looks like you have less control anyway, right? It doesn't happen the way you like, right? If you think about yourself, just because you want your hair to be a certain color, it doesn't stay the same color, right? Just because you want your eyesight to be perfect, it doesn't happen the way you like, right? And the body, you get weaker as you grow old, things like that. Same with the others. But let's think about the mind. So if we break this into three, now the outer world, will take it out, we'll leave that out, and then from the inner world, if we break the mind and the body into two, so we'll call eye, ear, nose, tongue and body as body, and then mind as a separate thing. So we can take the mind as what we think is we have most control of. So we think, okay, we have control over our mind. So if someone is thinking that is the case, you can test this. What you need to do is you close your eyes, spend a few minutes, spend 3-4 minutes, but you have to give the mind a thought. What thought would you give? You think about, okay, I am going to concentrate only on one person. You can take any person. It could be your religious leader, it could be Jesus, it could be Lord Buddha, it could be Allah, it could be anyone. Whoever you believe as your religious leader, or if you don't have a religion, you can even take your mother, father or someone who you respect most. Take one person, but the most importantly, you have to give the mind a thought. I am only going to focus on this person, and I'm not going to, my mind is not going to go anywhere else. If you hear a noise, you're not going to focus on the noise. If you get a smell, you're not going to focus on the smell. You will only focus on this person. So if you do this exercise, you will find out after a few minutes, this has been done. You can do later, because it's hard to do now, and find out, and you can tell me if there is any change to it, if you have any control. So what you need to do is, if you have control, do not open the eyes. If you have control, just keep the eyes closed. If you have control, keep the eyes closed. If you do not have control, open the eyes. If a thought comes to your mind, if you hear a noise, right, you can even do it now and see, and open the eyes only if your mind goes somewhere else. Even if you can hear what I am saying after you close your eyes, then if you your focus, if you lose your focus, then you have to open your eyes. So you can even do it now and see if it works, and you will find out that it doesn't work. Ultimately you do not have control over your mind. So if you don't have control over your mind, you will not have control over anything else. So that is the decision you need to come into. So this is what you need to understand, right? So that is the reality. So if you want more examples on this, even Tathagatan Vahanse, before he became Lord Buddha, he wanted to make everyone enlightened. That was his target. He didn't go there just to show the path to a few. He wanted everyone to be enlightened, but that didn't happen. As a proof, we are still here, right? So that is an example. So if even Tathagatan Vahanse cannot make everything he wants to happen, so that is the reality. So this is something that you need to understand, right? So ultimately you will have to come to the decision that the world is not according to your like. So this is what you need to understand, and this is called anicca. So this is the concept, this is the main concept that you need to understand. Once you understand this properly, once you comprehend this, then half of your sufferings will vanish. You're not going to suffer. 90% will vanish actually, because why you suffer, I'm talking about mental sufferings only. Why you suffer is because you want things to happen in certain ways, and you suffer when they don't happen the way you want it to happen. But when you know the reality is that it doesn't happen the way you want it to happen, then you're not going to suffer, because you know that's how it is. It is like building a sand castle. You know it's going to go wash away. It's like popping a balloon. You know it's going to pop. So things like that. But you don't take the life or the world that way. That is the thing. So the biggest issue in this life is it is not according to our like. If the world was according to our like, then we don't have a problem. So this is what you have to understand. The problem is it is not according to our like. So that is why it will give a suffering. The world is anicca. Sabbang anicca. Right? And when we say anicca, there is this unlearning thing that I have to go through. Every time I say anicca, people think anicca is impermanence, which is incorrect. You can't say the world is impermanent, right? Because there are certain things that are permanent, and that is explained in even in the Thripitaka, in the Tata Sutra. Tata is doesn't change. The name of the sutra is Tata. It says doesn't change. And in the Tata Sutra it says the Four Noble Truths, they don't change. Right? There are the eightfold path. It doesn't change. No matter what Lord Buddha comes, which Lord Buddha comes and explains it, the eightfold path is eightfold path. And the Four Noble Truths are the Four Noble Truths. They will never change. That's explained in Tata Sutra. And also, once a Brahma comes and asks what is permanent and what is impermanent from Tathagatan Vahanse. So here they are asking about permanent and impermanent. Then Tathagatan Vahanse says, Rupan jirati machana namagottan najirati. So Rupa is impermanent. Jirati, Dhiranava. It depreciates, gets wear and tear, and it vanishes. That's Rupa. Namagottan najirati. Namagotra, Dhiranne. The Namagotra will not change. Namagotra are Namagotra, if I go to if I take an example, it's what stores in the mind. For example, if you remember something when at the age of 7, something that happened at the age of 7, say you climbed up a tree with wearing a green shirt, and then there was a monkey up on the tree, and then all of a sudden you got scared and you jumped, and then you hurt your leg, or maybe you were injured, for 3 months you had to use the clutches or something, and then you can remember this, for example. So these are Nama Gotra. So these never change. So even after 100 years, you're not going to see an old person climbing a tree. You're not going to, when you think back, you're going to remember the same 7-year-old person wearing the same shirt, climbing the tree, and the same monkey. Like it doesn't change. So that is why people, you can, when you do meditate, you can go to previous lives and you can see what happened in previous lives, because they don't change. Nama Gottan Najirati. That is something out of the season 8. I just because it come up, I had to mention that, right? And then the Satcha Vibhanga Sutra, coming back to season 8, Satcha Vibhanga Sutra, it says Yam Picchan Nalabati Tampi Dukkam. So the concept of not according to the like. So the impermanent thing is gone now. I'm pretty sure you understand. If you take everything is permanent or everything is not permanent, doesn't have anything to do with your suffering. So it doesn't make you suffer or not suffer. That's nothing to do with it. But this anicca, not according to your like, will make you suffer. So that is why it has a direct link, and this is what you need to concentrate on. So not according to like. What is not according to like? So here in the Satcha Vibhanga Sutra, it says Jati, Jara, Marana. Everything is explained here. What is not according to like? Jati Dhamma nang also sattang eva ichchang uppajjati. Naho atamya, aho atamyana jati dhammana assama. And at the end it says idampi ampi chan nalabati tampi dukkam. How does the jati dharma give you suffering? The jati doesn't happen the way you want. You want this jati to be like this, but they don't be like this. That's why jati gives you a suffering. Again, jara dhamma nang satta evang iccha uppacchati. And then at the end it says idampi ampi chan nalabati tampi dukkam. You want the jara to be like this. Marana, you want Marana to be like this. You don't want the people who you know to die. But it doesn't happen the way you want it to happen. Right? So these are things that you need to understand. And even in Mahasatipatthana Sutra, Dhamma Vibhanga Sutra, all these have explained this clearly, that the suffering is to do with anicca, which is because it's not according to your like. Coming back to the 6 senses. Now you know that the world is not according to your like. Your body, the inner world, even the inner world is not according to your like. So the whole world is not according to your like. Now coming back to the 6 senses and trying to fulfill the senses, trying to achieve happiness, we are now trying to understand if there is anyone who has fulfilled the senses. For example, Bill Gates or Steve Jobs or anyone. So if you take, once there was a supreme king who saw his hair, one hair was white. He found out his hair, one of the hair was white, and then he left the kingdom. What is the point being a supreme king if I don't have control over my hair? That is what he said, right? So that's how it is. Now you have to think about what I said now, and then you have to decide if this is true or false. Please message me and tell me if you think what I said now is wrong, or it doesn't match, or it doesn't tally, or if there is any confusion, right? Don't just believe because I said it. Do you think you understand these concepts? Then we can go ahead with the rest. then we can go and see why it is anicca and why is it not according to the like. And where we need to find out where is asada, where is the happiness, where do we create the happiness, and how do we get the happiness, right? We will come to that. And please mention if you do not understand something or if you disagree with anything that I said. Okay, so even I'm coughing now. It's not according to my like. I don't even know whether it's corona. We don't know. So that's how it is, right? So let's move on. Why is anicca? Why is it not according to our like? And what are we trying to do? Where are we trying to find the asada? So from the six senses, we are trying to find asada from outside. From the eye, we are looking at visions, we are looking at the images and trying to find happiness from the outside or from the images. Do they possess? Do they possess asada? So that is the question. Yes, that's right. Yeah. So you are agreeing. Good. So what I'm coming back to, yeah. So we are trying to get happiness from, for example, from the eye. We are trying to fulfill the eye from outside, looking at images, looking at different types of images. So you see, say for example, you like to see an action movie. You see an action movie and you become happy. So you think, okay, action movie gives me happiness, gave me happiness. And then another person is there. That person doesn't like action movies. That person likes romantic movies. So that person looks at a movie, a romantic movie, and he becomes happy. He thinks, oh, the romantic movie has asada or happiness in there. Yeah, because that's how I got the happiness. That's what people think. For example, we'll the first example taken in the Deshana is, imagine there are three people. Three people have the first one is from religion A, and the second one is from religion B, and the third one doesn't have a religion, and they are going on a trip together. So first one is from religion A, second one religion B, third one doesn't have a religion. And then when they are traveling, they see a big, very big statue of religion A. So what happens to the first person? That first person will be really happy. Oh, that's my religious leader. Oh my God. He will be really happy. What happens to the second person? Say for example, the second person doesn't like religion A. He'll be like, oh my God. He will not be happy. He will be frustrated. He will be angry. Right? Third person, he sees a statue, he doesn't care. It doesn't matter to him. So it doesn't give him happiness or worry or suffering. Right? So the question here is, did the statue have happiness or suffering? Is the question. Right? So that is the first example. Remember the examples, right? I will give you a few examples and come back to the concept in here. Don't go into so deep detail about the examples that I'm using. Just try to get the concept of it, right? It doesn't matter what religion, right? And then the second example is, say there are a set of old men in a temple, as well as a set of young guys in a temple. These old men have come to worship and do worshipping and everything, but the young kids, or the not kids, the young people, the young men, have come to just spend some time in the temple, say for example, and they see a beautiful young lady walking into the temple, and imagine this lady is wearing short skirts and she's looking really nice, say for example. But these old men, for example, don't think that I'm using age or anything here, right? It's just try to take the concept. So the old set of people will think, oh my god, look at the way this lady is coming to the temple. This is not how she should be wearing. She should be wearing long dress, she shouldn't be wearing lipstick, she shouldn't have makeup, blah blah blah. So they will not be happy seeing this woman or seeing this lady. But the young men, the young set of guys will be really happy to see this young lady. Wow, they will be, oh, look at that, or something, right? Try to get the concept again, right? And then they will be like, be looking, interested, whatever, and they will be happy. Imagine the lady went into the temple, and in the temple there are two enlightened monks, and then the lady was there for about 2-3 hours in the temple. So now think about what the old people are thinking and the young set of men are thinking. Oh, what is going on there? She went and it's been 3 hours, she's still there. What is she doing in the temple? So they are both having questions, right? Even the young men, they have a problem. They also are worried now. What is going on? They want to know what is going on, and they want to see this woman going back, or this lady going back. And then they see her going back, and then they are the second day as well, for example, and they see the same lady come into the temple. But now on the second day she is wearing a long she is wearing a robe, and she's got rid of she's cut the hair, and she's become a monk. The second day she's walking to the temple after becoming a monk. Now the old set of people will be like, wow, this is so good, and they will be praising, really good. And what will happen to the young set of people? They will be like, oh my god, what happened here? Why did she do that? They'll be like that, right? So what you need to understand is, if there was raga or dvesha in the woman or in this lady, is what you need to understand. Even in the statue before, was there happiness or suffering, or raga or dvesha in the statue or in this woman? So that is what you need to understand. Pati iccha, that is when the pati iccha samapada comes into play. So how you got the pati, how you got the attachment, is how you get the result. That is what paticca sampada means. So when you attach with raga is when you get the pleasure. When you attach with desha is when you suffer. Here, according to the statue example, the first person who is in religion A saw the statue, he is attached with raga. Oh, he likes it. Now he is happy. It gave him happiness. Second person B, from religion B, he attached with hatred. He was like, what is going on? I don't like this religion. So then he suffered. He was angry. Right? Paticca samuppada. It is a raga. The first one was raga paticca, and the second one was desha paticca. And then here in the second example, the old people, when they saw the woman first, it was dvesha paticca, and the young people, it was raga paticca. On the second day, it was the other way around. So it wasn't there in the object, it was there in their minds. That is what you need to understand. So this is something that is created, mentally fabricated in the mind. This is the most important thing that you need to understand. Right? Paticca sama uppada. Raga paticca, dvesha paticca. It is done in the mind. Raga ends up in asada, pleasure and gratification. Dvesha ends up in suffering and sorrow or dislike. I think we can continue, I guess, right? The next thing is, you need to understand when one becomes Sotapanna, when one understands Dhamma, when one comes to the understanding, what type of a person he becomes, or what if there are any changes from outside, another person can understand and identify a Sotapanna person. That is the next set we are trying to look at. Right? In the Sarakani Sutra, that is in Samyutta Nikaya 5 in section 2, Sotapatti Sangyukti Sarakani Vagya Sarakani Sutra. This is Sarakani was a Sotapanna, and in the Samyukta Nikaya, in the Thripitaka, it has been explained that he when he died, right, he was an alcoholic before he understood Dhamma. He was still an alcoholic. He didn't stop drinking. He kept drinking, right? And then he died, and he died drinking, but he was still Sotapanna. So these are examples from Thripitaka. So you need to understand if there are any changes that should happen after becoming a Sotapanna. Do they walk in a specific way? Do they talk in a specific way? Do they not get angry? Do they not look at women? Do they not go behind asada? Do they stop everything? These are things that you need to understand. Otherwise you get confused. You have some understanding, oh, Sotapanna must be a special level where they don't do anything. No, this is Arihatun Wahanse, the fourth level. When you become a Arihatun Wahanse is when you get rid of all the Punya Papa Pahinas, all the pau, all the sins. Until then, there are layers, there are ways of getting rid of certain things. This is something that you need to understand. And if you look at people who became Sotapanna, for example, Angulimala was a killer. He was looking for fingers. He was making a chain with fingers, and he was looking for the last finger to complete his chain. He had killed 999 people, and he had 999 fingers in the chain, right? So he was a murderer. And Ambapali was a prostitute, was a Sotapanna. She became Sotapanna. Alau Yaka is a Yaksha. But this is the Deva Yaksha. You need to understand, it's not a Satrapagata Yaksha, it's a Deva Yaksha. But he became Sotapanna again. Then Vishaka was Sotapanna and had 16 or 32 kids. And then Kukkutamita Vedda's wife, who had again 16 kids or something. So these are examples of Sotapanna. So Sotapanna, if someone is Sotapanna, that person will know whether that person is Sotapanna, and Tathagata and Vahanse would know, because that person will know how much suffering he got rid of, and that is the mental suffering. That's the only thing you get rid of, and that is the drushtiya you get rid of, Sakkaya Ditti. So when one understands this, Kaya Sat, again these are all linked. That is why it's so interesting and it's so beautiful. We say we are talking about the world, Kaya Sat. Until then, You believed the world is the best place, the world is so wonderful, it gives you pleasure and happiness and everything. But once you understand the Dhamma, you understand there is no happiness in the world. We create the happiness in our mind. Therefore you don't suffer as much. Doesn't mean you stop going after the world. You're still in the world. You still go after the world. You will still go after asada to a certain extent. That is something that you need to understand. There is a couple of more examples given. So I will take them as well because they are mentioned in there. A Chinese and a Sri Lankan friend goes to a restaurant in China. So this Sri Lankan friend is invited to China. He goes to China and he's taken to a restaurant in China. So they go and eat. And the Sri Lankan friend is saying, oh, these are really nice. And he eats it, he enjoys everything. And then after, just before they finish, he's got some bones on the plate. The Sri Lankan friend. And then comes a dog. I know these are not common here, but in Asia they are common, right? Dogs are everywhere. You can see if you go to Sri Lanka, dogs are everywhere. Right? So a dog comes and this Sri Lankan friend throws a little bone to the dog. The dog runs away. Normally if you throw a bone to the dog will always take that happily. But this time the dog runs away, and then the dog comes back, and then he throws another bone, and then the dog barks and he runs away again. So what that means is the only bone that the dog doesn't eat is the dog's bone. They don't like it, they will never eat them. So then the Sri Lankan friend understands what meat he was eating all this time. He had been eating dog's meat. And Sri Lankans are not used to eating dog meat. So from that moment, he can't keep it anymore. He throws out, definitely, right? But did the taste change after getting to know this? So what happened after getting to know? It's the mind. So this is what you need to understand, right? Nothing else happened. The taste didn't change. He said it was tasty, so it must have been tasty. That's why he said it's tasty. But what changed? His mind. Oh my God, he can't eat dogs. He might have been thinking, oh my God, how did I eat dog? So that is what happened. So things like that, right? There is another example given, and that is a neighbor's son throws a stone onto your head, right? The neighbor's son doesn't even realize it hit your head, and you get injured. You stay in the hospital for some days, and you come back, and after a few years, he's grown up now. You go to the neighbor's place, and then comes the boy. He comes home after school. Now you know this is the culprit. He hit you on the head, and you got injured, and you even spent some time in the hospital. Now you are angry. You have an anger inside you. So the neighbor sees the son. What does he feel when he sees the son? And what do you feel when you see the son? When you see his son? You're seeing the same picture. You're seeing the same son. But what you feel and what he feels are different. Right? And then the neighbor talks to his son, and he talks back, saying hello, and then he says hello to you. So you're listening to his voice, you're listening to his sound. Are you angry or are you happy to have listen to that? And then, say for example, he comes and hugs his father. So for his father, he smells so good. When he hugs, if say he comes and hugs you, you have an anger inside you. You're like, oh my God, he smells, because he's sweating or something, right? So even it's the same smell, but for you, you feel like it's worse. And then Imagine he brings something home, a piece of cake from school or something, and he gives, oh, do you want some? And then you'll be like, I don't want his cake. You understand? And say he comes and when he hugs, the touch you get, it's not the same touch as his father got, because it's how it's created in the mind. Paticca samuppada. This is where the paticca samuppada starts. So this is what you need to understand, right? Those are the examples given, and ultimately what you need to understand is in the 18 places. When we say 18 places, we looked at the eye, ear, nose, tongue, body and mind, and then the 6 from outside, which are visions, sounds, smell, taste and touch and thoughts, and then the consciousness, like the seeing is called the eye consciousness. The ear consciousness is the hearing. So in these 18 places there is no asada. Asada is mentally fabricated in the mind on top of this 18. That is why it's called upadana skandhya. So that is what you need to understand, right? So if you understand this properly, then you understand that there is nothing in this world to go after. There is nothing that you can get and satisfy. You cannot satisfy yourself. You cannot fulfill, right? This is something that you need to understand. You need to comprehend. Then you understand. When you understand that, I will just bring up a karmasthana at the same time. Asa samuduraki rupayen nopirena, kana samuduraki shabdayen nopirena, nasaya samuduraki gandhayen nopirena, diva samuduraki rasayen nopirena, kaya samuduraki pottappayen nopirena, mana samuduraki dhammayen nopirena, lokaya samuduraki asadayen nopirena, lokaya samuduraki asadayen nopirena. So this is a good karmasthana. If you understand this, you cannot fulfill, is the gist of the karmasthana. You cannot fulfill the eye with visions. The same. You cannot fulfill the ears with the sounds. So if you understand, then you can concentrate. There is nothing. There is no asada in the world. There is no point in going looking for asada. You will feel like you got some asada if you had some desires, likes in there, created in your mind. And once it's gone, you are like, oh, it's like a bottomless bucket. There's nothing is filled. What happened? You try to fulfill it today, but tomorrow you want it again. What happened to yesterday? What happened to the movies you watched all this time? So same thing, right? So that is that. So another thing you need to understand is this. Not everyone can understand this. That is also something that you need to understand, right? There are people who can understand this and people who will stop the journey of samsara. And we try to, when we understand this, we try to tell everyone, we try to convince everyone, this is how it is, stop the journey of samsara. It's not going to work. Tathagata Vahansa tried and he failed to do it. Not everyone will understand this. That is how it is. That is also a truth. So it's no point trying to force anyone. So if you understand, just walk the path, and then if there are people who want to go in this path, they will come to you. They will come and listen to you. They will ask questions, right? I'm not doing anything by force. I'm not forcing anyone to come listen to this. You guys do it because you want to do it. So then I explain what I know. So that is how this should work. Because initially when you understand this, you want to give it to everyone. You understand, oh my God, there is nothing like this. We have to give it to everyone. But that is the mentality that comes to your mind, to anyone's mind, when you first understand. But after some time you realize, no, it is not easy to give it to everyone. Not everyone is in the same mood. And also, something that you need to understand is, when Tathagatayan Wahanse, in a previous life, he was Jyotipala Manavaka. And then when it was Kashyapa Buddha, it was a previous Buddha, right? And Gatikara Brahmana was trying to take Jyotipala Manavaka to make him understand this. But he couldn't, because he was the one who was going to become Lord Buddha next. So there are things like that we don't know. There might be a person who's going to become the chief disciple with the next Buddha. So we don't know. So we shouldn't be forcing. This is the other thing, right? And there are some people who do not have enough merits, who can't walk the path. It's too late for them, or they haven't got the paramita to walk the path. For example, Chundasukara was right next to Jetavanarame. He was the neighbor. But Tathagatayan Wahanse never went to explain Dhamma to him. And this is something important that you need to understand. When Chundasukara was crying, when he was dying, he was crying aloud, and everyone could hear. And then Ananda Thero was asking Tathagatayan Wahanse, can we please go and do some Dhamma discourse to him, so that he will reduce the suffering. And then Tathagatayan Wahanse said, no, I am not going to do any discourses to him, because if I do, he will go to a worse place than where he is supposed to go by doing more sins. Because if Tathagatayan Wahanse went to him, he would be angry, and he would be blaming Tathagatayan Wahanse, and he would even say things that he shouldn't be saying to Tathagatayan Wahanse, and as a result he might end up in a worse place. So Tathagatayan Wahanse saw this. So hence why he didn't go and try to explain. He avoided going Pindapate, going for alms in some cities. For example, King Supabuddha's area. Supabuddha is his father-in-law. He didn't go there because his father-in-law was very angry, because he believed that something unfair happened to his daughter. So he was not happy with Tathagatayan Wahanse. He ended up in hell. But Tathagatayan Wahanse didn't want to make him go to a worse hell, so he avoided going to his area. So things like that are there that you need to know, right? Again, there is no one who has fulfilled it. That you need to understand. So it's a waste of time, a waste of energy. So it's a process of wastage. Basically, it's so that is what anatta or asara means. Anattang asara kattenati. So anicca, I explained, it's not according to your like. Dukkha, yada nicchan tan dukkha, yan dukkha tadanatta. So dukkha, because of anicca, because it's not according to your like, it's dukkha. Because it's not according to your like and dukkha, it's anatta, because it's pointless, it's valueless. So it is like, there are examples for this. cutting logs into the river. So you want some logs. You're cutting the branches or the logs into the river. It's not going to stay. It's going to go down the river. It's like that. Or trying to press a stone to get water. So the process of trying to get asada from the senses is like this, because there is no asada in the outside world. Simple as that. So you don't need to think too hard. You're trying to get asada from a rupa. In the rupa there is no asada. So you can't take asada from the rupa because it doesn't have asada. Simple as that. There has been an example given from the Bible as well. It says, I have been going after panchakama, the five senses. I have been trying to fulfill the five senses, but it's like catching air. It is an example from the Bible. It's like catching air. You can't fulfill, right? And in the Girimananda Sutra, the example given is attiyati. Attika sanya, attiyati. It is like trying to fulfill your tummy with a bone, with no flesh. You're trying to fulfill the tummy with a bone. Attiyati. That is the meaning of attiyati. Another example, a metaphor is eating and drinking in your dreams. So when you wake up, you haven't fulfilled anything. It was only the dream. In the dream you were like full, but when you wake up you're hungry. The reason is asada is not in vision, sound, smell, taste, touch or thoughts. So what now? So what do we have to do now? So you understood that. There is no asada there. So what? So what you need to do is you need to see. If you are not 100% sure, you still need to find out if there is anywhere that I can find asada. Try to see if there is anything that will fulfill you. Say if you are a person who's drinking, when you're drinking, don't stop drinking all of a sudden. Just think, okay, when you're drinking, concentrate, okay, am I fulfilling? Am I getting the asada from it? How much did I fulfill? Be mindful when you're watching TV or when you're watching a movie or when you're seeing something, trying to fulfill, try to see, okay, so concentrate, be mindful, I am trying to fulfill my eye. So I am watching this. Let's see when I am going to fulfill the eye. Right? And when it comes to taste, it's the taste, right? Not the eating or filling the tummy. You can fill the tummy, but not the taste. Right? And when you understand this, then you understand why you do the 10 immoral activities. People do the 10 immoral activities to achieve asada, to become happy. So when you understand there is no happiness in there, you stop doing it. The chetana goes away. The intention of doing the 10 immoral activities, what is the point in doing that? Why would you kill animals? Why would you lie? Why would you steal? What is the point of sexual misconduct? So these things will come to the mind and it will work. So what is avidya? So now you understand what avidya and what vidya is. Avidya is not understanding this. Anicca, dukkha, anatta. Not understanding this. Not understanding the concept of anicca, dukkha, anatta. Or not understanding asada, adinava, nissarana. Or not understanding dukkha, samudaya, nirodha, marga. The Four Noble Truths, which is dukkhe ajnana. Dukkha samudaya ajnana, dukkha nirodhe ajnana, dukkha nirodha gaminiya, patipadaya ajnana. Ajnana is not understanding, not knowing, is what avidya is. So when you understand, you get rid of the avidya. to a certain level. You get rid of the avidya 100% when you become Arihatun Wahanse. So anattang asarakattenati. So then you understand the anartha. No meaning, no value. So then you stop the journey of samsara. What is the point in going in this samsara, trying to achieve? How many houses have I built in the samsara? How many kids have I brought up in the samsara? How many wives have I had in the samsara? So then you come to what is the point? You still go and then you do all sorts of sins, and then you go to the four hells. You spend loads of time there. Then you come back trying to achieve asad again. What is the point? So this is the first session. This is the first end of the first clip of the 32. I hope you understood this. Again, it was a summary. It wasn't everything, but I took as much as I can, and I explained whatever I understood, the way I understood. So it's time, if you have any questions, to bring up the questions.